During the 1300s to the 1600s, there was a practice known as witch hunting that was very popular throughout Europe and eventually spread to the English colonies, most specifically Salem, Massachusetts, right here in the United States of America. It started in Europe. People accused one another of being witches, usually accusing the poor, the elderly, and those who were rejected by the community. Back then, people were very religious, and many of the accusations were based on Bible scripture.
In the book of Exodus, chapter 22, verse 18, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live.
It began in 1231, when Pope Gregory started a time to investigate witches. Then, in 1484, Pope Innocent VIII declared that witchcraft is a crime that should be punishable by death. The popularity really started to boom when King James's new bride, Anne of Denmark, set out across the North Sea to join him and become husband and wife. But she didn't make it. King James was told by the people around him that witches were responsible for his bride's death. He was furious and he made witch hunting a legal activity. In the year of 1692, witch hunting had spread to the colonies, mainly Salem, Massachusetts. It started when Betty Paris, aged 9, and Abigail Williams, aged 11, who are both related to the minister in Salem, started going into fits, similar to epileptic seizures. They proceeded to blame 3 different women that they caused the fits. These women were jailed, and the girls continued to accuse many more people of witchcraft. This led to the death of 20 more people. My name is John Humphrey, and I am a newscaster. I'm going to the town of Salem, Massachusetts, in hopes of catching a witch and preserving the townspeople's traditions regarding these witches.
We've been given the chance to have an interview with one of the villagers of Salem, who is currently investigating the case of an accused witch. He has chosen to remain anonymous. What makes you think that this person that you're investigating is actually a witch?
Well, my wife tells me that the new midwife in town is a witch.
Yes, but what makes you jump to these accusations?
She was delivering the tailor's baby, but when she was holding the child, it died in her arms.
And that makes her a witch?
It most certainly does.
So are there any other tests we can perform to know for sure that she is a witch?
Well, in most cases, these witches have these feeding holes for the demon spirits.
He means freckles and moles.
We can also test to see if they're a witch, if they can swim in the water. Women can't swim.
Can I accompany you on your witch hunt?
Sure, come along.
Look, there's the witch!
Her?
Yeah. I got her! A reading from the first book of Samuel, chapter 15, verse 23. For rebellion is the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected thee from being king. A reading from the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 10. There shall not be found among you any one that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch.
Contrary to popular belief, no witches in Salem, Massachusetts were actually burned at the stake. All witches were either hung or killed in some other forms or means.
The Salem Witch Trials, however, did not continue for years on end like it did in England. In fact, it lasted less than a year. In October 1692, the court of Oyer and Terminer was dispersed. The final hanging day was on September 22nd of 1692.